grinders cease. In the Ecclesiastes 12:3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease.
And the grinders cease. Our people like to grind. Y'all know when I say grind, I gotta make it. I'm grinding out here every day. The grind gonna cease. Ain't gonna be no jobs. Ain't gonna be no way for you to go make a quick buck. Because they gonna close the doors to the city. They're gonna be making like Esau, he gonna start cutting niggas off. What does they call it? Payroll cuts or something like that. They're gonna start cutting niggas' payrolls, laying niggas off, firing niggas, going out of business.
Why are you doing that? He's still raising taxes.
Still raising taxes, and then on top of that, the only way you can grind is one of the most wicked ways. Go out here and sell drugs or whatever. But eventually in them days, yeah, kind of. That chip, you're gonna have that chip. So it's not gonna be simple as meeting a nigga at the trap house. Esau gonna know every move you're making if you got that chip. Ain't gonna be no more. It's gonna be a cashless society, man.
Because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be dark.
Yeah, because the future for America is very dark, man. According to Amos, the day of the Lord is gonna be darkness. That's the future you're looking at.
He live around the corner.
Nah, niggas talking about they window pane. That's a window pane for you.
And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low.
The door shall be shut in the streets. That's not only businesses shutting down, but also the door shut in the streets because they're gonna have checkpoints set up as well. Eventually, you ain't gonna be able to go to Lincoln or be able to go to Council Bluffs. Because they're gonna have a checkpoint there and they're gonna tell you to go back where you're going to take you out.
Say like when the grinding is low, like it gets so bad where they can't really pay all their employees as much as they need to pay them, so meaning they can't really keep their business open as much as they need to really benefit off of it. You go to him like, what? This place usually be open around this time. You know? I used to be open at 9 o'clock, end up being open at, end up closing close at like 9, end up closing at like 7 or 6.
Money ain't coming in, so they don't need to be spending that money to going out. They got overhead.
So nobody's coming in, but I'm still paying y'all. And nobody's coming in here.
Yeah, we might as well close up shop.
And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
Let's go back to that.
Second Ezra 16:22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that shall escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
What is that? That Jeremiah? Those that be for the sword, those for the famine, the famine. You go to Amos, you can't. It tells you can't escape your judgment. Okay, you probably found something to eat, but now what? Now you got to worry about Esau and niggas trying to get at how they live in them days. You know? There's no way you can escape that judgment. If you deserve that judgment, the Most High is going to put that on you.
And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them.
Yeah, the dead shall be, read that again.
And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down.
Why? Because it's going to be turmoil. Nothing but turmoil and rioting, utter chaos going on. So when you see somebody dead in the streets, you're not gonna stop it. Or you see somebody laying in the streets dying, you're not gonna stop it. You all right, brother? You know, you ain't gonna have time for that. Because it's niggas that's on your ass. You stop for them, and now y'all both in the same situation.
Right. Now you land next to him like, hey man.
It said like, done.
We gonna make it, man.
Like if you walking down the street, you're not about to stop what you're doing with a pooper scooper, you know what I'm saying, to pick up behind a dog or somebody else.
Go buy a pooper scooper.
Right.
Come back to the pooper and clean it up.
You're gonna keep it pushing. That's how it's gonna be in them days, because it's not gonna be an out of ordinary sight to see a dead body on the ground. That's gonna become your life. That's gonna become your reality. There shall no man be left to till the earth and to sow it.
There shall be no, it ain't gonna be no more farmers harvesting. Ain't gonna be nobody, you know, out there on them fields. They dead anyway. You know, if you want, like the brothers put up in the sit down, like it showed you that the crops anyway is dying. They're dying from the drought. It's not gonna be nobody to personally go out and get some corn and some peas and bring it to you.
And that's gonna increase the famine as well. Because if the farmers is dead, there ain't nobody to plant more plants.
And yeah,
Or if the farmer gotta go, he can't stay where he at, he gotta be on the run, like a pilgrim in that day, then he ain't gonna have time to come back and make sure the sun's shining on him and water this one and spray the pesticides on it. He ain't gonna have time for all that. And since there's no more new product being made, then whatever's existing right now, whatever's in them canned goods, that's what you're gonna have. Whatever you can't hunt, whatever you can't pick in the wild, that's what you're gonna have. You ain't gonna have no domestic crops.
If they do got it, they do have it. They damn sure ain't giving it to you.
The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men.
Yeah, all places shall be desolate of men. It's not gonna be a civil society for niggas to actually sit and make time to do certain stuff. Ain't gonna be nobody to, like the brother was saying, ain't nobody gonna bring you this. Ain't nobody gonna bring you this stuff. They ain't gonna have time to make sure it's fully in its ripest form.
So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For if a city there should be left, for if a city shall be 10 left, and two of the field, which shall hide themselves into thick groves and the clefts of the rocks. For if a city there should be 10 left. It's like, it's gonna be scarce out here. If you ain't dead, it's gonna be a strange sight to see another person. You see somebody else, you like, oh shit, is he gonna kill me? You gotta kill this nigga? You don't have to worry about that in that day.
It's kind of like almost in a sense, it's kind of like The Walking Dead, but you ain't gonna see no zombies, you know? Because you're gonna be hoping to see somebody that's, you know, not somebody, a regular person. And if you do, it's been so long since you heard from somebody, you hear another voice, you're gonna get paranoid. You're gonna be bugged out.
And two of the field, which shall hide themselves into thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks.
Oh yeah, because some niggas gonna be hiding, lurking, waiting for some human life to come by. Just waiting for something to happen. Plus they scared that somebody gonna try to kill them, like the brother said.
He said 10 in the city and 2 in the field. So as scarce as it's gonna be in the city, it's gonna be even more scarce in the field. And if you is in the field, you probably hide so somebody that's out there is not gonna get you.
That's why I say in Jeremiah, those that be left in the city shall die by the sword, and those that be in the field by pestilence, famine. Either way, you gonna die. Like I was saying earlier, you can't duck that judgment. I want you to live, you're not gonna live.
Juke the famine and hurtle over the sword, eventually the Lord gonna
Spin right into a missile.
gonna spin into a Warren Sapp missile.
As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. As when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search of their houses with the sword. It's going to be sporadic here and there. Like you said, if you're in an olive field saying it's 1,000,000 olives, you're not going to get 1,000,000 of them. It might be 10 here, 10 there, 10 there. I'm saying that's how it's going to be. It might be a whole block, 20 houses on the strip. You might look in on 20 of them houses, and there might have been some people in the house, but you didn't see them. They was hiding. But it's going to be real in those days. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through. Read that part again. Yeah. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through.
Nobody gonna be once this place is utterly destroyed. Like I said, nobody's gonna inhabit America. Nobody's gonna inhabit Babylon. Why? Because that wickedness of this society, once it's destroyed, ain't nobody gonna want to come back to this place. Nobody's gonna visit America. They might fly over it, and then they gonna walk up. It's not going to be a place that somebody wants to dwell in. It ain't going to be nothing but